trying it one more time today. Hey, Robin, Ellen, probably on at a bad time because the president, I think, might be doing something, nothing totally important, but just so you know, you're not missing too much. Hey, Peyton. Hey, Talks. Janice. Hello. Liz, how are you? Trying it again. I restarted my computer. I restarted the internet. I restarted everything. So we shall see what happens this time. But I'm going to go ahead and retweet it. I'm going to go ahead and share it. And we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. Okay? We shall see. All right. Hey, Sue, good to see you over there on Facebook. I hear you just fine. Well, good. I hope you see me too just fine, at least for the next couple of minutes. Hey, Noel. Hey, Hawk Delta. Didn't get a chance to talk about anything on the news this morning. And again, the Humble King. Hello, how are you? Everyone, please join Cloud Hub. Yes, everybody, if you're not on Cloud Hub right now, and we talk about this all the time, this censorship, gets so ridiculous. We're not getting it on Cloud Hub. We're not getting censored. We've got other people that are coming over there. As Cloud Hub grows, you'll want to get on that. And as the streaming goes and all that, and they start, getting that up and going, that's where I really want to go. I mean, right now, I've come on so many times today. There's nobody here. And again, as I said, kind of a bad timing. The president just went on for a flag presentation. Hey, Lee. No biggie, but it's still the president, and I understand. So let me talk about some of the things that, yes, Lynn is on Cloud Hub. Yes, I see you, Lynn. But I don't know if we're following each other because I kind of see your stuff, but you and I need to be retweeting each other's stuff. And I do try to retweet yours whenever I see it, or whatever you do on Cloud Hub. It's not retweeting, but sharing or whatever. So anyway, let me talk about some of the things that we were going to talk about this morning. We also have the House has voted for a $15 an hour minimum wage, which is, absolutely, once again, crazy. I'm sorry, we can't sustain $15 an hour right now in the different parts of the country where they have enacted it. Hey, Rob, people are having to close businesses. People are getting let go because they can't afford that. Well, Rob, it's a little past morning right now, but the president just announced the drone that got destroyed before ceremony. Okay. So another drone in the waters of off the Straits of Hormuz. Is that what you're talking about? Hey, Deep Six. Hey, Renee. Hey, Jerry. So Iran is trying everything that it can do to start a war. They really want a confrontation with us. Yes, Renee, I'm live now. Hey, John. And so they're going to continue to do things like that. As you know, this morning, still early here, Rob said, yes, must be in Hawaii. This morning, they have a oil tanker that they captured with about 12 people. 12 members of the crew. And so they really just want to fight. Hey, Karma. Hey, Demir. Need some water. Been talking a lot. So anyway. All right. Some of the other things that have come up. Hey, Deb. Please, everybody, if you will, at this point, share and retweet. Maybe this way we can stay up. It'll work this time. Hey, Greek to you. Rand Paul. People are mad at Rand Paul. Okay, you're a Trump supporter. Well, that's great. Hope he gets a second term. Absolutely, John. If he doesn't get a second term, John, you and I probably won't be talking because we won't have a republic. So, yeah. All right. So Rand Paul blocked the 9/11 victim funding. I don't know how you think about that. People are really, really upset with him. And of course, they're calling him anti-American. And it's okay to call Rand Paul anti-American and maybe tell him to go back from where he came from because Rand is a white guy. So it's okay to put down white people. But apparently no one else can be told, you're un-American. Trump and Epstein were, yeah, sure, Greek to you. You know what else is Greek to you? Reality. Reality. There you go. So Now, I'm not a fan of Rand Paul, and he's my senator, Robin said. Hi, Trump is live right now talking about the Iran drone just shot down. Yeah, Carmen, I heard that. So we'll catch up on getting that later. So Mike Lee was also in support of Rand Paul doing what he did and not supporting the 9/11 victim funding. Now, here's why Rand Paul did it. It wasn't just because Rand Paul hates people from New York. It's not that Rand Paul hates anybody from 9/11. The funding would be extended for 70 years. I'm not a fan. Isn't Rand just asking where the money is coming from? Renee, what Rand is really asking for. Let me give you some breaking news. The U.S. Navy took offensive action against a drone in the Strait of Hormuz, President Trump says. So let me read you a little bit of that so you can hear some of the breaking news, and then we'll go back to it. Let's see. Well, they're not really talking about. That's kind of all that they're giving right now. So Trump says the U.S. shot down an Iranian drone. So they didn't shoot down ours. We shot down their drone. So all this radical leftist crap, what's getting my goat up? Yeah, John. Well, they want to get your goat up, John, because they want you to be so distracted by their BS that you don't keep your eyes on focus where they should be. So your eyes, first of all, need to be focused on what's going on, not the distraction. We should be getting out there talking about President Trump, getting the truth out there, not spending your time fighting with the people on the left. Most of them are trolls. Most of them want you to sit there and be all day long fighting with them so that you can't do anything else. That's not what we want to do. Don't want to fight with them. Move on. It's not going to change their minds. So let them do what they want to do all day long. And you go out and you tell people about President Trump, show them the statistics of what he's done, show them how much better their life is now because of what he's done. And that'll get the message across. Mueller's probably going to testify on the 24th. Randy wants attention. Liz, Lynn, I don't know about that. He's got some pretty good points. Okay. The fact that it's going to be extended for 70 years, don't you think is a little bit long to be just saying right now we're going to do something for 70 years. Now, if they said 7, I might be okay with it. If they said 10, even if they went to 15, but 70, most of those people that are adults that went into the building in 9/11, those people won't be here anyway. You know what I mean? So, the cost of the bill is going to be about $10.2 billion, which is about $4 billion a year. I mean, $2 billion something a year. We got already $4 billion in claims. So you're talking about, no, I don't think I saw that, Karma. So you're talking about the fact that you've got a lot of money being spent out for an excessive amount of time. So I think, and I don't want to speak for Rand, but I kind of think that if they were to have said 7 years, 10 years or whatever, he would have been okay for it. Bush should pay them, Lynn said. So, I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. I think that's what Mike Lee was also upset about, that it was too long of a time and too much money based upon, information they had or whatever. And you think about it, see, Rand Paul is for, limited government, and probably doesn't like the idea that you're authorizing the government to pay something over 70 years. Renee said 70 years is too long. And I agree with that, Renee. I think it absolutely is. And it's funny. Now, if you said, let's pay something 70 years for the homeless veterans, we'd have a different way of looking at things. 70 years for the veterans. Yes. Now they deserve it. They've been waiting, pretty long time trying to get something from Vietnam. And most of those people are already dead, unfortunately. A lot of them are, but we're not doing anything with veterans on that scale. And I feel bad for those people at 9/11. I really do. And God forbid, it was almost somebody who was related to our family who happened to be there in the morning in the building. and decided to end his business early and left the building before it all happened. So it could have been him. Yes, agree. That's ridiculous term, 70 years. So you've got Rand Paul, who now everybody doesn't like on the left. And Jon Stewart doesn't like him, of course, and calling him un-American. But he's not saying I'm against it. He's just saying we got too much money here. I'm really concerned about that. And I'm really concerned about the length of time. So I have to say that I agree with Rand Paul. Veterans are always coming. 9/11 people won't be here in 70 years. That's true, Renee. Noel said I would even go for 20 for the survivors. Yeah. I mean, cap it off at a reasonable deal, Noel. And it doesn't mean, Noel, that even if you said, let's make this for the next 10 years or whatever, it doesn't mean you can't go back in and ask for more. I wonder if the firefighters are compensated from their own agencies and districts. I would think so, Rob. MAGA is love, vets for Trump. All right, man of war. Good. Good for you. Thanks for being a Trump supporter, and thank you for being a veteran. I'm assuming that you are a veteran. I don't think that he's un-American. I have other issues with Rand Paul. Exactly, Robin. I don't think he's un-American for doing that. He didn't say, I hate America. But you see, again, it's okay for the pod squad and people that follow the pod squad to call that un-American when it's not really un-American, because he doesn't hate America. He's just saying, let's look at things and let's make sure we're being fiscally responsible. But of somebody on the left, being physically responsible is un-American. Most will be impacted by issues within 10 years. Yeah, Liz. And some of them, unfortunately, have already died. And I think it's for, to compensate their families as well. So it's, for an extended purpose. But 70 years, I think, is way too long. And it's something that is unaffordable. And again, what other things have we other bills or things that we've passed, legislation that we've said we'll do this for 70 years. Typically, we look at stuff and reevaluate after a certain amount of time. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So with Rand this time, I've got to agree. Now, as you know, Al Green yesterday, for the third time, wanted to impeach the president. True down east. And once again, it was 332 to 95. It was almost as bad as the vote on the Green New Deal. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted Al Green to rear his ugly head, figuratively speaking. But he did. And once again, he was shot down. He and Maxine ought to get together. Do you really care about what will happen in the future in America? Bruno, yes, I do. Just for you to know. Do you really care about anything? Like why you're here? So whatever. Okay. So, the other thing is hey, D, Devin Nunes, kind of want to go on this same vein of what I was talking about. Devin Nunes, suggested, I guess, that he was on, Tucker Carlson last night. And he suggested that there's a back channel with the Democrats that they have with Mueller. And they're going to work out a few sound bites that Nunes said they could use to their advantage to just one phrase from the Mueller hearing that's coming up on Wednesday could be used to push for impeaching Trump. Now, he didn't elaborate into what that means. But, again, this is what they're looking for, at least. They're looking for any reason whatsoever to impeach the president. Democrats are not what they used to be. True down east, that's true. That's a true statement. They're not. I don't think that many of the Democrats understand what happened to their party and where it went. Because most Democrats aren't that crazy over the top liberal progressives. You have people who are just like everybody else looking to make a living and raise their kids. They haven't gone off the deep end, I guess is what I'm saying. Hey, D. So anyway, I feel sorry for the people that are in the Democrat Party. Let's see. Now, the House did vote yesterday to hold Attorney General Barr and Commerce Secretary Ross in contempt over the census citizenship question. They have turned over, according to Barr, they've turned over thousands of documents to the Democrats, and already blocked him, Liz. They've turned over thousands of documents to the Democrats, and it still wasn't enough. You also need to be able to go back to somebody before you hold them in contempt and say, we really want to work with you. We don't want to hold you in contempt. We really need to get this and blah, blah, blah. They didn't do that. He dolled me. And yeah, it's ridiculous. It's politics. It's something that they want to use to talk about during the debates. That nasty melanated panther troll is back. Yeah, well, I don't know if he's back. I did block him, Jerry. So if he's back, he's gone again. Heartless king. So there were no good faith accommodations. Now, Trey Gowdy had something to say about that. He said that basically that nobody cares what happens in the House anymore. They don't want to work with him. He would bring them down. Exactly, Robin. They want to keep him distracted in garbage like this so that he can't do any of his work. That's what they want. So Trey Gowdy said, nobody cares what Congress does in the House these days. It doesn't matter anymore. He called the House feckless and irrelevant in response to the holding in contempt Barr and Ross. He said that Barr being held in contempt for not turning over documents that he has no legal obligation to turn over and could possibly be against the law for him to do so is absolutely ridiculous. I guess some of the documentation was either confidential or privileged information that especially confidential, he's not going to be turning that stuff over. So, I mean, they're looking for anything and everything just to cause trouble. Yeah, I don't know if you heard about this yesterday, but we had a pretty big arms deal that the president and Saudi Arabia had entered into, kind of an emergency deal to give Saudi Arabia more weapons to use because of what's happening right now in the Middle East. And yesterday, basically, Congress said, no, we're not going to allow this Saudi Arabia arms deal to go through. So we were going to be selling them different weapons that they needed, things that in an emergency they needed. And Congress said no. So I don't know about you. Did anybody hear about that? I saw it as a blurb. And if I had blinked too fast, I would have missed it. That's how much that we saw. Hello, Susan. Feed okay now? Yep. Looks like it, Rosanna. So far, so good. Too bad nobody will probably see this because nobody's expecting it or anything else. And they know I've tried like 12 times today to get on. Hey, Clara. If everybody could, I'm just going to go ahead and retweet again. If you can do that, that would be great. And maybe some of those people that were watching the president have now gotten off and looking for something else. Yeah, see, Dolly didn't catch it either. Yeah, it literally was a little blurb. Renee hasn't heard about it either. Yep, love your hair. Thank you, Clara. New Hampshire, Eva said. I guess that's what you're saying. NH, New Hampshire. We never have, and in fact, Ava, thank you for bringing that up. We never have heard about what happened in New Hampshire. It was supposed to be the vice president was going to tell us, so, we'll see. It was on C-SPAN, True Down East said. Yeah, well, C-SPAN must have been the only one who talked about it because nobody else has said anything. And I'm surprised that the mainstream media wouldn't be all over that story and telling everybody, oh, we shot down what the president wanted. Da, 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 da. Now, I don't know if you read my article today at susanknowles.com. And if you haven't signed up for my emails, you could subscribe to the emails at susanknowles.com. You will get my article every day, and you can see other things that I'm doing. And all you have to do is simply go there. If you're on your PC, it's the furthest, right-hand column. It's the third column, one on the right. Put in your email. You get the articles every day. If you're on a phone, you may have to scroll down to the bottom because that's where the third column goes when you're on your phone. Go all the way to the bottom, put in your email, and get your articles. That all being said, to say that my article today, if you were signed up for the emails, was about Cherie Murray. She is she happens to be a refugee from Jamaica, a woman of color, who is going to be running against AOC. She is a Republican. She is not a member of the Justice Democrats, meaning therefore she is not an actress. Also, she's a mother of 3, I believe, but I'm not sure how many children. It's irrelevant, but she's a mother and she also has run a business. So she's got some life experience and some business experience all to boot. And we'll see how she does. She sounds wonderful. She acts wonderful. She says the right things. Now, I'm seeing some people already, and I hate to say this, but there are so many conspiracy theorists out there who are like, well, she's just a plant. It's somebody that it makes it look like she really loves Trump, but she really doesn't. You know what? Before you go there, go back and look at anything that she said that is contrary to who she says she is. I haven't seen anything yet that says she's anti-Republican or pretending to be a Republican when she's really not. I have seen her raise concerns from the past on a tweet, unless it was Photoshopped, so I want to go back and look at it, about a black man who was unarmed that got shot. I'm not going to hold that against her because I don't know what case it was. It really didn't have to do with politics and hating a particular president or a particular party. It had more to do with something that she disagreed with in a killing of a person. There's a man running too, ex-teacher and cop, Cummings. My only concern is she's a community leader, Renee said. Well, again, I think we need to look at her. Some say she was glad AOC got elected. Well, Jerry, that's weird because if you go look at my article at susanknowles.com, she was saying just the opposite about AOC and about how it was sad and how AOC had forgotten who elected her and all that other stuff. So we'll see. Hey, Danielle, when reasonable people get banned, it makes it easier to believe in conspiracies. It's true, Dolly, but not everything is a conspiracy. Sorry, was at a flag ceremony. Yep, I know, Barbara. Just got home. No big deal. I just came on, finally got on today. There's another woman running against AOC too. I can't remember her name. See, here's the problem. And I said this like a year ago. We knew this was coming, where women were going to be pushed to the forefront and men were going to be pushed to the background. We know that's here. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's asinine. It's immature. All those names that you want to call it. But it's here. So whoever's running against AOC, as it appears at this point, a woman of color is going to have a better chance than somebody else who doesn't fit that stereotypic description that those on the left seem to be looking for these days. Yes, we talked about that for a while. Yeah. So, and I've had people already who say, well, sorry, I'm never going to vote for another immigrant again. I don't think we should be so quick. Not all immigrants are like the Pod Squad. Not all immigrants, she's Jamaican. Not all immigrants hate people. Not all immigrants are anti-American. Iran just made a mistake. Well, crazy eyes, we shot down their drone this time. Last time they shot ours down. So we'll see what happens. And it's not, crazy on it. Let's make sure we know that's the Iranian government, not the people of Iran. Two different things. So, but anyway, so again, I don't want to become like the people that we dislike. Hey, Jim, I don't want to become like the people that we dislike and lump all immigrants or all whatevers into the same mold and into the same group. We are all different people. We come together with all of our different experiences. And so we can't be be like everybody else on the left who basically, discriminate against people based upon whatever group or race or whatever. Or even Steven today. Okay, even Steven. There you go. So does that make sense? So we don't want to be like the people that we dislike their behaviors. Those people, we don't want to become like the people whose behavior we dislike. So we have to be very careful that we don't just lump everybody into the same group and say, that's it. Agree with you, Susan. Thank you, Eva. Yeah, because I'm not going there. I am not going to become those people and discriminate against people based on race or gender or how tall they are, how short they are, whatever. I'm not doing that. I am judging each individual on themselves as an individual, as a person. So I'm going by your character rather than anything else. They got one of ours, we got one of theirs, Barbara said. Yep. If the whatever is not anti-American, I'm okay with it, Dolomie said. That said, these humans are coalition of bad humans. Crazy odds. Yeah, you got to know too, the Iranian people don't support their government for the most part. They're just Barracuda name. What's name? Don't know what that means. My name is on the title, yes, in their own merits. Yeah, you got to judge by the character of somebody's character, not by what, if they're what gender they are, or if they're male, female, black, white, Asian, whatever. You don't do that. I mean, if you do that, you really are racist. So, no, Jamaican American makes no difference. She's a conservative. Yeah. And so far, it seems like she is. Jim said the deep state is behind all this. Well, let me just tell you something, Jim. Since the beginning of time, the deep state has been behind all of this. We've thought in America everything was great. We could depend upon our government. We could trust our government. We could trust people who said they were who they were. And I think when it all boils down to it and what we're seeing these days, we know that that's not true. You've got to research people. You've got to find out who it is that you're really talking to. And find out who the person is. It is only fair to judge by the group if one is free to join or leave the group. Hey, Cindy. True, good one, Susan. Yeah, I'm just, I grew up during the civil rights era. I know what it's like to discriminate against people. And I saw white people discriminating against blacks. I saw blacks discriminating against white, all based upon the color of their skin. I lived through it, and it's disgusting. And so I'm not one of those people, and I don't want to be lumped into a group and everybody, think of me just as, this who don't even know me. It's true, Democrats and liberal progressives have joined forces with the socialists and communists. That's right, Crazy Ons. National Treasure, the movie actually told if deep state. Yeah. So let's just judge people for what their character is. Bottom line. I'm with you. Thanks, Robin. I just want to go back to a time when all I was worried about was eating too many cookies. Carmen, wouldn't that just be great? Like you could just go back and, let's see, what am I going to wear this weekend? I haven't even, my God, that was the simpler time. That would be great. Just to worry about things that really just fluff. I don't even know. Is there any fluff left? That's the problem. Is there any fluff left? Hey, 10 is 3. I mean, it's like those days are gone, and we are in a spiritual battle, but it's not 1964. Well, it's not 1964 or 54 or anything else, Crazy Ons. I mean, what point was that? I was shocked to see that Lindsay Shepard was banned from Twitter. Dolomie said, I'm not shocked to see anybody banned from Twitter. The socialists have joined forces with radical Islam too. Absolutely, Tim. You know what, Tim? Having read what Sean King, one of the leaders of the Black Lives Matter, how he was idolizing the man who was allegedly an Antifa who tried to blow up the ICE detention center. After I saw all of that, I was sure that all the forces have joined together. Robin said, now I'm fighting for my kids' future in prayer and voting. Yep. So, I mean, my gosh, they've kind of all joined forces. There's no racism today like it was then. Crazy on that. I think racism, honestly, while you don't have like one big pitted group against another pitted group, you've got a lot of racism coming from the left because they have made everything about racism. If you say the sky is blue, they will say you're a racist. So there may not be as actual racism, but they sure as hell are going to make you think that it's even worse now than it ever has been, because they are labeling everything racism. If you disagree with them and don't think the same way that they do, then you are a racist, period. So I think it's worse, actually, in some regards. It seems to me that all of the garbage stuff about racism doesn't start until Obama was in office. That is true down east. I got to witness BLM up close and personal. They are a hate group. Won't change my mind. Yeah, Karma, who would want to change their mind about BLM? They're a hate group. I disagree. Obama released racism and division. Well, he did, Danielle. Nobody's disagreeing with that. Ignorant fools. Danielle said true. So anyway, I guess my point too is don't get caught up in all of the BS that's going on. Don't get caught up in what they're trying to make you believe, stay out of it, because it's meant to distract you. It's meant to divide us, and it's meant to divide us from the other people that we haven't been divided from. And now there's more racism against whites led by some Dems. I've had enough. Exactly, Robin. All the protesting monsters all over the planet as well. Oh, you disagreed with Crayon or Crazy-On. It's Crazy-Ons, Danielle. But I mean, for example, yes, Susan, stay focused. Exactly, Karma. I've got people just in my neighborhood. We are a very diverse neighborhood. And guess what? We all get along with each other. We don't go, oh, well, the news told me I'm not supposed to like you and therefore blah, blah, blah. No, we treat each other as human beings like we want to be treated. And that's the real world. What they're trying to show you, meaning the Democrats, liberal, leftists, whatever, they're trying to show you something that doesn't really exist, but they're trying to make you believe that's how the whole world is. Far left cannot tell Archie Bunker from Hitler. Exactly, Dolby. And they're hoping that you won't know the difference. And they want you angry at everybody else. And you know what? I'm just not going there. I know garbage when I hear it, and that's when I put my judgment on something based upon what somebody says. We all have to stay focused on God. I don't care about the color of your skin. Yep. Never cared about your color of your skin. I care how you treat me. Don't care about the color of your skin. When you use a word that offends so easily, it becomes meaningless. Yep. Liz, and that's exactly what has happened. That's exactly what has happened. And the other word that's used a lot is Islamophobia. That's one of the things that Ilhan Omar, when people were accusing her of having married her brother before the election, she basically was saying, you're only saying that because of Islamophobia. No, they were saying that because they had legitimate concerns that you married your brother. And those legitimate concerns are coming back around. If you're going to, as she wants full equality in the United States. Now, we've talked about that. You can't have full equality anywhere. It's just not going to work. Some people will always have more than you. Some people will always have less than you. And some people will have the same as you. So, but if she wants full equality, and if it's found that she has done something that is illegal, she should have the consequences like everyone else. According to the left, I have multiple phobias. That's right, Robin. Well, she's not helping her cause. Well, she doesn't know how to help her cause, Barbara. She's, you know, anyway, let me just talk about some things that she has done that we know of. She, after 2015, hey, Kitty 49, after 2015 San Bernardino terrorist attack, those people, there's no more common sense on the left. There isn't. It's gone. True down east. That's common sense does not exist on the left. While former Governor Schwarzenegger advisor arrested in human trafficking. Interesting. All people are born, that's what Jerry said. All people are born equal. They do not stay that way. Yeah, that's right, Barbara. Financially, they have more, some have less, whatever. What are you going to do? Sit around and compare yourself to everybody else? Or are you going to go out and do the best that you can and live your life? I go for the second. Hello from Minnesota. Well, good to see you, Kitty. Dems don't follow rules. The rules are made to protect them, Liz said. Omar's life is built on a foundation of lies, Pillow Time said. Now, after 2015, they took a vote in Minnesota, and here was the legislation that they wanted passed. There were, I guess, apparently the guy in San Bernardino, or at least somebody before him, if not him, took out an insurance policy so that when he got killed in his terrorist attack, his family would benefit from the insurance policy proceeds. And the legislation was saying there in Minnesota, we need to stop this. We need to make it where if somebody causes a terrorist attack, hey, Kim, to text, that the benefits will not go to the family of the terrorist. The benefits from the insurance policy, if anything, will go to the victim. My husband is a Trump driver. Ryder truck left park 11 and a half hours, kept him from being able to I don't know what that means. Oh, deliver his load in Chicago. He's not sure the details yet. Wow, that's weird. 11 and a half hours left parked. Well, they probably thought there was a bomb inside, huh? Karma. So anyway, Ilhan Omar voted against that. She wanted the proceeds to still go to the families of the terrorist. Now, the whole issue about her having been married to her brother is coming up again. President Trump yesterday said that he was aware of it. He doesn't know all about it, but he's sure that other people are looking into it. You can expect that will immediately be Islamophobia and racism when they go and look at it. Was buried by MSM, of course. Policies prohibit payments on suicide. No, Dolby, it's not for the terrorists. Terrorism and suicide, they're not looking at it as the same thing. If it were somebody that shot themselves or this, that, and the other, that would be different. But somebody who's killed in a terrorist attack, apparently isn't suicide. See real and new Twitter articles, new info on Ilhan Omar with good records. Charlie, that woman needs to be investigated. What is wrong with the Dems? Well, Kim Detects are just like her. Republican walked away a few years ago. Good for you, Kitty 49. Welcome to the rational side. Glad that you walked away. Return of the pink cats. Yeah, there you go. Oh my gosh. And you know that Care will be all over this. Oh, what are you doing with our gal, as they used to say? Not Care said that, but people used to say that, and it was okay at one point to say that. Omar is supposedly, I don't know if she's already done it because I didn't listen to it today, but sometime this week she's supposed to be introducing a resolution declaring support for the anti-Israel BDS movement. She wants to seek to elevate the Palestinian negotiating position through international pressure campaign on them. Hey, Pamela. She's calling it her First Amendment right in regard to boycotting, and it's important to explain why we support nonviolent movement. That's what she's saying. So basically, she's going to go out. She's doing this anti-Israel thing again. She's calling it, oh, well, that's just my First Amendment right. Here's the deal. Congresswoman, you are a member of Congress. Israel is an ally of ours and probably the closest ally and God's people. Okay, I know. Okay, I'm sorry, Omar. I'm sorry to say that. But you need to support what the United States supports when it comes to our allies. And if you don't, I don't know. Maybe Congress isn't the best place for you. Yes, she introduced a bill to boycott Israel. Okay, so she did do that today. So again, I call that, if nothing else, anti-Israel, who is our ally. I find it disgusting on that level alone. I'm anti-Omar and terrorist sympathizer, Kim Tatek said. So anyway, it doesn't surprise me that she would call it something that it isn't and not agree to the fact. It's like, well, I just don't like Israel. Okay, I just don't like Israel. Why not say that? Because she's not going to, because, at this point, I think she could come out and say that and she would get away with it. Yesterday, the House condemned the president for his quote unquote racist remarks, which they weren't, by the way, and which and yet, when it came to what Omar said before, her anti-Semitic remarks, they wouldn't even put her name in there and say, she did this and condemn it. But they have no problems doing that with the president when it isn't even a racist thing he said. Her real name and her family name is Ilhan Nur Saeed Elmi. Brother Amid Nur Saeed Elmi, alleged marriage. Yeah, Jerry, that I had a timeline at one point, and I could probably find it again, about when she married who and what and when, and what the name was. She hates Israel, Robin said. She hates America too. Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty much so. I don't know if she hates everything about America. I don't know why she would hate America, because where else can you go and stand up with a group of Muslim Brotherhood and care and speak next to them, right? And come back and be a member of Congress. Where else can you go in the world where you are a refugee and you come in and you end up as a congresswoman? There's a lot to like about America, Omar, and I'm sure there are some things that you do like and a lot that you don't. Omar's hometown paper has reported about her marriage irregularities. Pillow Time said, yeah. Yes. She changed her name to Ilhan Abduli Omar when 3 of them moved in with Omar's in Virginia. Well, I haven't confirmed that, but I'll take your word for it. Nothing surprises me. The question is, if she did marry her brother in a fraudulent move, what's going to happen to her? Anything? I know if I did that and created a fraud on the United States to get somebody into the country, I'd be going to prison for a long, long time. That'd be my guess. And if I married my brother, I think there'd be some problems. Just saying. I really do. So are they going to do anything about it? Or does she get a pass like Nancy said the other day? She just has a different way of saying things. What's it going to be? In Somalia, where her family is from, she would have a burqa. Yes. Clara said doesn't think anything's going to happen. It is a federal offense, Jerry, but is anybody going to care? Because the laws are enforced on the right. Typically, the laws aren't enforced on the left. We've seen that. Nothing of Dems have anything to do with it. Yeah. Yeah. And you can bet all of this time that we've been focused on the pod squad and all the other crazy things going on in the House. What are they hiding? What have they done that they don't want you to know about? That's really where you should be focusing. Because I guarantee you some things have been going on that you don't know about. And they've been very subtle. Junior, where the heck have you been? You've been hanging around with Anthony Weiner again and being all busy so that you can't come in here. Is that it? I tried to get on this morning, Junior, and I couldn't. I have 5 brothers and wouldn't marry one of them. Yeah, Clara, neither would I. Married her brother, that's creepy. Well, Pillow Time, she wanted to come him to come in the United States. If in fact that happened, there's been no proof yet. None that I've seen, but I am open to seeing that proof. Pictures are now circulating about Omar's father was a war criminal, Karma said. I'm sure they've done plenty behind the scenes. Is that Junior? That's Junior. Been busy hanging out with the squad. Junior, now you've stepped down. You've gone down, Junior. Got to get away from the squad. I call them the pod squad, Junior, because they're four peas in a pod, and they really are. They really are four peas in a pod. I guess they did some interview with Gail King the other day, and of course were nasty about, you're not going to apologize for anything that I've ever said. Maybe it was racist, maybe it was this, maybe it was that, but I don't really care. So, okay. So, not that I watched that interview. I saw a little blurb of it. Incest is illegal, yet she gets away with it, Karma said. Well, we'll see, Karma. We'll see if she does or not. We don't have any, until we get proof. I don't want to condemn her and say she did it because I have no proof that she did. What can I say? I like the company of women. Junior said, Junior, what's wrong with you? I mean, seriously, shouldn't you be spreading your time out for everybody? And why does it just have to be two genders, Junior? I mean, come on. Let's see. Last night when President Trump was at the rally, he was talking about, how unemployment was lowest in history, just about for everybody. But he said something I thought was really great. He said that of all the jobs that were created, didn't he say 6 million jobs? That 60% of the jobs had gone to women. So depending on how you look at it, that's a good thing or a bad thing. Omar even has terroristic training. Well, Clara, what's your point? Here's something that I think is kind of hilarious. I would ask for my money back. Biden hired a speech coach a day after his June performance at a 2020 presidential rally and paid $5,300 for it. I don't think it's helped. Let's see. I've had enough to believe she married her brother, and there are documents and pictures. Barbara said, I've been at work when you come on live, so I've been missing. You guys got to run. Okay, Junior, come back soon. They are saying her brother is gay. She committed immigration fraud. So many stories. Yippee, Kim Tutek says, God bless you, my family. God bless you too, Junior, and your family. And this family is your family, Junior. A terrorist in Congress, Clara said. Does anybody care, Clara? Does anybody care? Seriously. We're just kind of turning a blind eye and we're not applying the law equally. Everybody just wants justice. Everybody just wants justice. Are we going to get it? Enough pictures of her dad, if not doctored with Castro. Yeah. And see, that's just the thing. I don't know about these pictures. Used to, you could look at something and feel confident that it was what they said it was. Today, there are too many things where I have seen photoshopped even tweets. So I am not, until there's a court of law or however it's adjudicated, I'm not going to say it is or isn't. I'm going to say it could be, it might be, but I can't say 100% because I don't know. I don't have it. I'm not the one working on the case. I can't authenticate it or not. So I don't know. But I'm going to say it doesn't look good, So there you go. Justice and peace. Yeah. It's funny too, today, one of the things that they were talking about was Hope Hicks and how the New York AG's office weren't going to prosecute. We need Megan King. She's a justice warrior, busted her own husband. My other dog. Can you see my dog back there? Do you think they have a hard life? Seriously, look at that. Look at that. This is how they spend their day. Can I get you anything? So they were talking about Hope Hicks and how she was involved with Cohen and President Trump with paying off Stormy. Let me just ask a question. Do you not think that if New York could go after anybody, especially somebody with Trump, that it would be given, that they would go after. It would be a given. They would go after those people tooth and nail. Reason for canceled trip by Pence to New Hampshire. What is it, Eva? What was the reason? Just like my dog, such a hard life, love pups. That's rough, Susan, a dog's life. I want to be your dog. I know, Clara. I mean, that's only one of the 3 lazy dogs right there. They do whatever. You know, we work for them. Okay. So, but Kim, you know what? It's if I didn't want you to say something, like if you knew something about me and I said, Kim, I'll enter into agreement with you and just don't say anything. And hey, Tom, I'll pay you $1,000, whatever, to not say anything. There's nothing illegal about that. And that's not what Cohen was in trouble for. Cohen got in trouble for, tax fraud, campaign finance violations, lying, blah, blah, blah. So people forget why he was convicted and they try to make it whatever they want to make it. And I warned people today, you're sitting there and you're saying things about Hope Hicks that legally, if she wanted to come after you, because she is now a private citizen and is not with the White House, she may have a cause of action. So you have to be careful what you say about people who are private citizens. There's a thing called defamation. I want a dog's life, Barbara said. Hey, Josette, you're live. Wow, great. Hello to my lady. Please, your hair looks amazing. Can I have it? Hey, Josette, thank you. Barbara said, if you adopt me, Cohen is a bottom feeder. Yep. Cohen is a bottom feeder, always was a bottom feeder, and hopefully won't always be, but it's quite possible. He got caught. He loved what he was doing up until the time he got caught. So, and guess who had to pay her in the end? Huh. Yeah, who took the money that she had too? Let me see, who was that? What attorney was that? And guess, so, anyway, it's all over with. And again, if there was a cause of action that New York could go after her for, they certainly would have. And they would have gone after anybody else they could have gone after. Look, now she has to get underneath the blanket because I have an overhead fan and I guess it's just a little bit too chilly with the air conditioning on at the same time, So anyway. All right, let me give you a couple more things here. I think Powell is living up to her reputation for Flynn. In what way, Clara? Now, here's the thing with Matt Gaetz. He says he received death threats following the Antifa assault. I think they threw milk on him or whatever. And he said he received a threat. And here's the threat. I'm going to blow your effing head clean off your shoulders from over a mile away. Do you think would you call that a threat on a congressperson? Just want to get your opinion. If you were looking at that, do you think that would be considered a threat? Stormy was looking for a payday, should have stuck with her pole job. She has no money now. True, Karma. I love Matt. Yeah, I do too. But would you consider that a threat? Do you think that somebody was threatening his life by saying, I'm going to blow your effing head clean off your shoulders from over a mile away? Kim saying yes. Even Fox News only talking about the chant, big deal. A lot of MS-13 gangs were caught, not a peep. Oh, Josette, those MS-13 gangs. Remember, Nancy said they're not animals. Karma said, what the hey? Who said that? Heck yes, Jerry said. Judge called ethics committee hearing for Flynn. Oh, God. Threat for sure. Well, in the U.S. attorney for the Northern District of California said that this was a phone call, was not a threat, and they refused to prosecute the guy. Now, if I were Matt, and I'm not going to tell Matt what to do, but if I were Matt, I would call on an investigation of the U.S. attorney for the Northern District of California and find out what the supervisors would say. Have there been other cases where people were, with something as blatant as this, told that there was no threat, that they weren't prosecuted? Or is there a political bias that this person took against this congressperson, this congressman? And I would pursue it, Matt, but that's just me. I think that's despicable. I'm so sick of California, what they've done to my state. I know, Kim to text, tell me about it. Wouldn't that be a federal crime? That'd be a lot of crimes there, Noel. Just about a lot of things I could think of. But he needs to go after them. Yes, it is a threat. Matt is awesome. Jesus, cover him and his family with your blood. Absolutely, Gisette. But you know what? Until we start pursuing things like this, it's not going to stop. I think no threats on Dems. It's a big lie. I haven't heard anybody say there's been any threats against Democrats. None. I haven't heard one Democrat say there's any threats against them. And this was apparently, I don't know if this is recorded, it probably is, but this was a phone call. And they're saying, no, that's not a threat. Not a problem. Now, one of the things that the president talked about, the S-hole countries, and that's one of the things that they're kind of mad at him about now, saying, just go back to wherever you came from. And they're saying, oh, well, like you called it an S-hole country. Omar said there has been on her. Oh, no, please. If I got on a grand jury in the jurisdiction, I would direct the prosecutor to present evidence. Yeah. Could go past California if federal. Absolutely. If you're using the phone, that's probably interstate commerce right there. I don't know where the person called from. Sister-in-law just called. Brother-in-law making very slow progress, has more aneurysms to repair. Oh, well, pray for him, Robin. We got to get the house back. We sure do. True down east. Yeah. The Four Stooges claim threats, yet show no proof. Don't believe them. No, I don't believe them either. I think right now they're going to say anything, especially things that can't be proven. If they have any proof of it, telephone call, whatever, let's see it and let's hear it. I wish he would not cuss. Well, Kim, I think people need to tell him that. I think we should tweet him somehow privately, tell his people, whatever. You should tell him. Because I think he's gotten some bad advice. I think maybe somebody has said, hey, your base likes that. You should do that. I mean, could be, or he just did it on his own. One of those times he was quoting what had been said in a conversation. Even if that's true, don't be saying it in a conversation. Karma can't see the chat. Robin said, yes, we definitely need to get the house back. So getting back to my S-hole countries, we have the Democrats and this is what I tweeted to Eric Swalwell, who is a leader congressman from California. And I told him that the S-hole doesn't have to apply to a country, but it's what the Democrats, whenever they get in charge, they turn cities into in California. Here's an example. Los Angeles is overrun by rats that pose possible public health epidemic. Rats can be controlled. Susan Periscope finds you threatening. They mess with your scopes. Bad girl. I know. The rats in Los Angeles, what they used to use on them to kill them, they banned them in 2014. So they can no longer use that to kill the rats. Juan Williams will have a field day today. They're disgusting. I only watch Tucker and Laura. I pray that Jesus temper him, which he should slowly but surely, Josette said. Hey, Cully. So the city workers in Los Angeles, there are increased numbers of incidences where they are being bitten by the rats. Rats carry diseases such as typhus, plague, salmonella, and contribute to asthma. There are reports that an LAPD employee contracted typhus, and a rat fell from the ceiling at a Buffalo Wild Wings restaurant down onto a menu. So, assholes don't have to be in other countries. They can be right here in the old US of A, and they are right now in Los Angeles. It's disgusting, needs to be cleaned up, and the mayor is a Democrat, and I know that the taxpayers and everything voted for money for the homeless issue that's causing a lot of the problems, voted to clean that up, and gosh, the money just kind of, I don't know where it went. Everyone, please show your love, share Susan Scope, get the truth out. Thank you, Karma. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, thank you, The Quiet. You have a nice nose too, I'm sure. And good thing is you're quiet. So, another good bit of news. The foreign purchases of American homes have plunged. They've dropped 36% from previous years. Scope Connection is good. Cully, I did like everything I could to make it work better. So I restarted the computer, rebooted the internet, everything I could. So down 36%, that means that people from, probably China aren't buying up our homes here as much as they used to. Now, the Democrats, if they get the Senate back, here's what they're proposing they may do. They may vote to eliminate the 60-vote filibuster if they retake the Senate. But, it was them who caused that rule to be in effect in the first place. I also, one last thing, I don't know if you remember, there was a Supreme Court judge in New Jersey who at one time said, yeah, I know, Claire, it's been a bit unusual. The New Jersey Supreme Court judge at one point said that a teen accused of rape came from a good family and should get leniency. Remember that judge? Well, that judge has now resigned. So good riddance. When you accused of raping somebody, and if you rape somebody, I don't care if you came from a good family, how good your grades were, or anything else, you should go to prison like everybody else. Saw a report about the portable potties that have become cribs for drugs and prostitution. And that's so disgusting, Barbara, to even think about. You have an amazing sense of humor, Susan, with all the evil we're faced with. We need you. Thank you, Karma. Sometimes you have to have a sense of humor. That's how I've gotten through life with most of people, because people can be so cruel. And, honestly, when people are cruel like that to another human being, it's because they feel so bad about themselves and they try to spew that hate out to somebody else. So I try to give them a little grace that they're feeling so bad about who they are as a human being that they have to attack other people and say nasty things. So I pray for them. Dr. Drew was on the 5 talking about this, and he had great ideas about the rats. And Juan Williams said that they should not poison rats. He is for real, but it is okay to kill the unborn. Exactly, Josette. Let's not kill rats. Babies, that's okay. All day long, let's do the abortion right after birth, as the Dems do. That'll be fine. Can you imagine how many abortion centers there are in LA? You saw something about a town in New Jersey passing Sharia law. I don't know, Claire, I haven't heard that, and they can't do that legally, not in the court system anyway. So anyhow, that's all I have for you. So glad I was able to finally bring it to you. Anything else that you guys want to talk about before we go? Before tomorrow? That won't last, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty pathetic problems that are going on in California. But again, you're hearing about California because I'm telling you about them for the most part. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be hearing about a lot of it. But every Democrat run state is probably somewhere in the same Same ballpark. No bail for Epstein. Correct. Yes, that dumb city brought back the pledge. Minnesota brought back the pledge. Great show. So glad you were able to get on and stay on. God bless, my friend. Thank you, Robin. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Until then, please retweet this. Please share this. May I say also, if you do yourself a favor tonight, spend 15 minutes, a half hour, whatever you can spend, just reading the Bible and putting your focus back on where it should be. Yeah, I would love the president to go to California. Would love that. The people storm their city council demanding it. That's good, Karma. And we need to just focus on God. Go read the Bible. You will feel better. All right. So until tomorrow, God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Take care.